Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to solve Cambridge International AS and A-Level Mathematics Paper 2 Pure Mathematics 2 in a session October-November 2025 Paper 2-3. So let's start with the first question. Question number 1, find the integral 6 sine square x dx. Okay, so integration of sine square is not possible, right? So here we have to use the formula. So we know that sine square x is equals to 1 minus cos 2x divided by 2. So this is a formula for the sine square x. So just substitute over here. So integration we have 6. This is 1 minus cos 2x divided by 2 with respect to dx. Okay, simplify. 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, now in the next step you can take 3 outside, and here we have 1 minus cos 2x dx. So 3 is outside, the integration of 1 dx minus 3 is outside, integration of cos 2x dx. Okay, now let me apply the integration. So it is 3, 1 integration with respect to x is just x, right? Minus 3 is outside, cos 2x, cos x integration is negative 3 is outside, cos x integration is sine 2x, multiply 1 over the derivative of this angle 2x is just 2 plus some constant of integration, right? So the simplified answer is 3x minus 3 by 2 sine 2x plus the constant of integration. So this is the answer for that integral, right? Question number 2, solve the equation e power 2x into e power 2x minus 8 equals to 48. So let me distribute this e power 2x, multiply with 2x, bases are same, add the power, 2x plus 2x becomes 4x. Minus 8 is multiplying with e power 2x, and shift the 48 on the other side, minus 48 equals to 0. Now this look like a quadratic equation in e power 2x, right? Okay, so you can do a factorization or you can apply the quadratic formula. This is up to you. So 1 times minus 48, that is equals to minus 48. Now we need to figure out the factors of 48. When you add or subtract them, the answer should be negative 8. We can do 4 times 12 is 48, right? And 4 times minus 12 is minus 48, and when you do 4 minus 12, that is equals to negative 8. Okay, so let me break this term. So e power 4x is as it is, negative x is broken to 4 and minus 12. So plus 4 e power 2x minus 12 e power 2x minus 48 is as it is, equals to 0. So let me take e power 2x common. Here we have e power 2x is left and plus 4 is left from the first two terms. From the second two terms we can take negative 12 common, right? And here we have e power 2x and minus 12 times 4 is 48. So we have plus 4, so the minus sign is already common. Okay, so both the factors inside the bracket are equal, the same. So the two factors are e power 2x plus 4 and e power 2x minus 12 equals to 0. Now let me put both factors separately. Equals to 0, e power 2x plus 4 would be equals to 0, and the other factor is e power 2x minus 12 is equals to 0, right? Basically we have to solve for x, right? So here we can say e power 2x would be equals to negative 4, and here e power 2x is equals to positive 12. Okay, now applying natural log on both sides, natural log e power 2x is equals to natural log of negative 4, right? So here we can say natural log of negative number does not exist. So from here we have no solution. So in this case, you will get no solution, right? Now do the same for the second one, applying natural log. A natural log e to the power 2x equals to natural log of 12. Now applying the power of natural log, so the power comes before the log. 2x natural log of e is equals to natural log of 12, and natural log of e is always equals to 1. ln e is equals to 1. So 2x is equals to natural log of 12, and the value of x is equals to 1 by 2 natural log of 12. So this is the only solution for that equation, half natural log of 12. Question number 3, part A, solve the equation absolute of 2x minus 3 equals to absolute of 5x plus 2. Okay, whenever you remove the absolute sign, that should be in plus minus, right? So this is plus minus of 2x minus 3 equals to plus minus of 5x minus plus 2. Okay, so you can take just plus minus on one side. It's better to solve the two equations. So the first equation we can say is 2x minus 3 is equals to, with the positive sign, of 5x plus 2, and the other one we can say is 2x minus 3 equals to negative sign with 5x plus 2. Okay, let me solve the two equations. 2x minus 3 is equals to 5x plus 2. Combine the x terms. 2x minus 5x equals to, combine the constant term to have plus 3, shift the 3 on the other side, minus 3x is equals to 5, and the x is equals to minus 5 by 3. This is your first solution, right? Now let me solve the second solution from here. 2x minus 3 is equals to, open the bracket, minus 5x minus 2, and combine the x terms first, 2x, and shift 5x on the other side, plus 5x equals to negative 2, and shift negative 3 becomes positive 3. Okay, so 5 plus 2 is 7x, and from 2 take away 3 is just 1. So the solution for x is 1 out of 7. So there are two equations, solution for this equation, which is minus 5 by 3 and 1 by 7. Now for part B, hence solve the equation absolute of 2 secant theta minus 3 equals to absolute of 5 secant theta plus 2. For theta is between pi to 2 pi, give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. Okay, so let me use answer from part A. You can see from part A we have 2x minus 3. So 2 secant theta minus 3, 5x plus 2, 5 secant theta plus 2. So means x is replaced with secant theta. Okay, so here we can say compare with part A. Part A is 2x minus 3 equals to absolute of 5x plus 2, and its solutions are x is equals to minus 5 by 3 and x is equals to 1 by 7. Okay, so when we compare, we come to know that basically the x value is, we can say, let x is equals to secant theta. In this equation, when you put x equals to secant theta, so you will get absolute of 2 secant theta minus 3 equals to absolute of 5 secant theta plus 2. And you will get two solutions. The first solution is secant theta is equals to minus 5 by 3, and the other solution is secant theta is equals to 1 by 7. Okay, now basically secant is a reciprocal of cos. Yes, secant theta is basically 1 over cos theta. Okay, so if I substitute this value, secant is 1 over cos theta, this is equals to minus 5 by 3, and here 1 over cos theta, this is equals to 1 by 7. So do the reciprocal on both sides. Here cos theta is equals to negative 3 by 5, and here cos theta is equals to 7 by 1, or just 7. Okay, so from here you will get no solution, because the range of cos must lies between 1 and minus 1. So this is 7. So cos inverse of 7, if you can do in radians. My calculator is in the degree mode. Let me convert it into radians. Cos inverse 7. There is no solution. Yeah, this does not exist. Does not exist, and the reason is because the range of cos theta must lies between -1 and +1. What is 3 by 5? 3 by 5, sorry. 3 by 5 is 0.6. Yes, it exists. Cos theta is equals to -0.6. You will get solution from here because this is in the range -1 to +1, right? Okay, now the domain is from my pi to 2 pi. Okay, so let me draw the coordinate axis and show you where is pi to 2 pi. This is 0, this is pi by 2. Here we have pi and here we have 2 pi. It means these two, the third and the fourth quadrant we are using. In first quadrant, all trigonometric ratios are positive, sine positive, here the tangent is positive, and here the cos is positive, right? And here your theta value is your pi plus the base angle, and here we have the theta value is pi, 2 pi, not pi, it's 2 pi minus the base angle. So first we need to solve for the base angle, and it says the cos is negative in this equation. So cos is negative in second and third quadrant, but according to the given range of values of theta, theta must lies between pi to 2 pi, means the theta should be in the third and fourth quadrant. So in the third quadrant cos is negative, in fourth quadrant cos is positive. So we are only dealing with the value of the third quadrant, right? So the base angle, let me solve the base angle first. The base angle is theta equals to cos inverse of 0.6 in radians. For the base angle, we are not considering this negative sign, right? We consider this negative sign for the quadrant, that in which quadrant the cos is negative, right? Cos inverse of 0.6 in radians, right? 0.927. Theta is 0.927 radians. Okay, now the cos is negative in third quadrant. We can say cos is negative in third quadrant. According to the given range of values of theta, that theta must lies between pi to 2 pi. So in pi to 2 pi, it only negative in the third quadrant. So for the third quadrant, what is the value of theta? Pi plus the base angle, and pi at the base angle 0.927. Okay, so this was a base angle, and this base angle, just add the value of pi, which is 4.0688. 4.0688. Okay, now the question is to solve the answer in three significant figures. What is the theta value in three significant figure? Theta equals to 4.0. This is first significant figure, second significant figure, this is third significant figure. Now the next digit is 8. We need to add 1 and 6, it becomes 7. This is the answer in three significant figures. So this is a value of theta. Now for question number 4, solve the equation cot theta tangent of theta plus 45 degree equals to 7 for theta is from 0 to 90 degree in first quadrant only, right? Okay, so let me open this formula, cos A plus B, right? So a tangent of A plus B. So we have to use this formula, that tangent of A plus B, this is equals to tangent of A plus tangent of B divides 1 minus tangent A into tangent B. Let me use this formula. Okay, and cot is a ratio of, cot is a reciprocal of tangent, right? So everything is in tangent, so we can say cot is basically 1 over tan theta. The reciprocal of tan theta is cot theta, and tangent of this would be equals to tangent of theta plus tangent 45 degree divides 1 minus tangent theta into tangent 45 degree, that is equals to 7, and tangent of 45 is always equals to 1. Convert your calculator into degree mode and find tangent 45. This is always equals to 1, right? So this is 1 over tangent theta into tangent theta plus 1 over 1 minus tangent theta. Tangent theta plus this value is 1, 1 minus tangent theta into 1 is just tangent theta, that is equals to 7. Okay, now let me do further simplification. So here we can do 1 plus tan theta is the numerator and the denominator is tan theta minus tan square theta. This is equals to 7. Cross multiply 1 plus tan theta is equals to 7 is multiplied with tan theta minus 7 is multiplied with tangent square theta. Okay, now let me shift all the terms to the right side. 7 tangent square theta becomes positive. This becomes negative tangent theta, and these two terms are already on the right side. So plus tan theta plus 1 equals to 0. These are on the left side, sorry. Now tangent square coefficient is 7. Tangent theta is negative 7 plus 1 is negative 6. And we have plus 1 equals to 0. Now let me factorize this, right? 1 times 7 is 7. Okay. 7 times 1 is equals to 7, and sorry, this is equals to 7, and when you do minus 7 plus 1, that is equals to minus 6. So break the midterm like we did in the previous part. Alright, so here the factorization is not possible. Let me apply the quadratic formula, right? So quadratic formula is on the tangent theta. This would be equals to minus b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac divides 2a, and the theta value, the x is basically tangent theta, right? So a is a coefficient of tangent square, b is a coefficient of tangent, and c is a constant term which is 1. So substitute everything into the formula. We will get tangent theta is equals to b values negative 6 plus minus square root minus 6 square minus 4 into a into c divides 2 times of the a value, which is 7. Okay, now we have tangent theta is equals to 6 plus minus square root. Let me simplify the square root. Negative square would be positive. 6 times 6 is 36, and then minus, we have 4 times 7 which is 28. 36 minus 28 is 8 divided by 2 times 7 is 14. This is 14. Okay, so root 8 is basically, and you can do square root of 8 to root 2. Okay, this is 6 plus minus 2 square root of 2 divided by 14. Okay, let me take 2 common from the numerator. 2 times 3 is 6 plus minus root 2 divided by 14. So cancel with the numerator. 2 times 7 is 14. So the two values would be 3 plus minus square root of 2 divided by 7. So these are the two roots for the tan theta. Now let me solve these two solutions. So from here the first solution is tan theta is equals to 3 plus square root of 2 over 7, and the other one is tan theta is equals to 3 minus square root of 2 divided by 7. Okay, let me solve for theta. So here theta is equals to tangent inverse of 3 plus square root of 2 divided by 7, and keep it in mind the domain is from 0 to 90 degrees. So 0 to 90 degree is only the first quadrant. This is 0 and this is 90 degree, and in the first quadrant all trigonometric ratios are positive, right? And this theta is always equals to your base angles. right? So we are just dealing with the first quadrant in this question. Okay, so we are just finding the base angles here. Base angle, right? Sorry, let me find the base angle here. Theta is tangent inverse of this thing, right? Okay, if I can solve, this is my degrees. Tangent inverse of 3 plus square root of 2 divided by 7 bracket. This is 32.2356. Theta is 32.2356 degrees. The answer should be in 3 significant figures, yes. So in the first quadrant, it's always equals to the base angle. So your theta is equals to 32.2 degrees. This is a solution in the first quadrant, right? All right. Now let me check the second one. So what is wait a second. If we do with negative here, this is also positive, right? Okay, so we can easily get the base angle, because for the base angle we only consider the positive of that angle, right? So when you do 3 minus root 2 over 7, the answer is also positive, 0.22654 up to so on. So it is also positive. So let me solve for the base angle again. So the base angle in this case is theta equals to tangent inverse of 3 minus square root of 2 divided by 7, and that is your only solution, right? Because in the first quadrant your angle is your base angle. Okay, for this, if you can apply tangent inverse of this 3 minus 2 root 7, which is 12.76, and it is 12.8 degrees. 12.8 degrees up to 3 significant figures. So these are the two solutions, right, for this equation, and they are in between 0 to 90 degree, right? We are just supposed to solve the two solution, 32.2, 12.8, both are in between 0 to 90. Question number 5, the diagram shows the curve with equation. This is the equation of the curve. Okay, the curve meets the axis at point A and B. The curve meets the x-axis at point B and the y-axis at point A. The shaded region is bounded by the curve and the line segment AB. The shaded region is bounded by the line segment and by the curve. Part A show that the x-coordinate of B is 6 natural log of 2. We need to just solve the x-coordinate of the point B. Okay, so for the x-coordinate of B, the curve cross the x-axis at point B. Okay, so now we know that the curve cross x-axis at point B. If the curve cross the x-axis at point B, it means its y component of the curve should be equals to 0, right? So if I substitute the y component equals to 0, it means 8e to the power minus 1 by 2x minus 1, that is equals to 0. Okay, now we can say 8e to the power minus x by 2, this is equals to 1. We shift the 1 on the other side, e to the power minus x by 2, this is equals to 1 by 8, divide by 8. Now applying natural log on both sides, here we can say natural log e to the power minus x by 2 is equals to natural log of 1 by 8. Okay, so here we can say power comes before the log, so minus x by 2 natural log of e equals to natural log of 1 minus natural log of 8. Okay, so natural log of e is 1, natural log of 1 is 0, so minus x by 2 This is 0 minus natural log of 8. So this minus and this minus is cancelled out. X by 2 is equals to natural log of 8. What would be the solution for x? 6 natural log of 2. Okay, let's see. So we can write natural log of 8 as natural log of 2 cube is 8, right? So this x by 2 would be equals to, power comes before the log, 3 natural log of 2. So x should be equals to this cross multiply 2 times 3 natural log of 2, right? So 2 times 3 is 6. So from here the x would be equals to 6 natural log of 2. So we got the x component of the point B, which is 6 natural log of 2. 6 natural log of 2. So this x component is 6 natural log of 2, right? Now for part B, find the area of the shaded region. Give your answer in the form of p natural log of 2 minus q, where p and q are positive integers. P and Q both are positive integer, the shaded area. Okay, so I pasted the picture over here. So you can see here the x value is 0 and here the x value is 6 natural log of 2. We need to figure out the shaded area. The shaded area is bounded by the line AB and by the curve, right? So the area between the line and the curve. So it is better to find the coordinates of A. So for we can say the curve crosses y-axis at point A. When the curve crosses the y-axis at point A, it means the x component of the curve should be equals to 0. So go back to the curve. The curve is y equals to 8 e power minus half x minus 1. Okay. So the curve is y equals to 8 e power minus 1 by 2 x minus 1. So when you put x equals to 0, y equals to 8 e power 1 by 2 into 0 minus 1. Y equals to 8 e power 0 minus 1. Y equals to 8 e power 0 is 1 minus 1. So y is equals to 7. It means the coordinates of A, x coordinate is 0 and y coordinate is 7. Alright, now we have the y value over here is 7 and this value is 0. Okay, now to get this shaded area, so as you can see AOB, this makes a right angle triangle, right? So first find out the area of this triangle, right? And area of a triangle, right angle triangle is half base times height. So the base is 6 natural log of 2, the height is 7. So, and from that area subtract the area under the curve. Area under the curve, integration of curve from 0 to 6 ln 2. So here the shaded area is area of triangle, AOB. From the whole triangle area, from this whole triangle area, we have to subtract area under the curve. Under the curve, that would be the shaded area. Okay, area of a triangle is half base times height. Half the base of the triangle is 6 natural log of 2. The height of the triangle is 7 minus area under the curve is integration of the curve from 0 to natural log of 6 natural log of 2, right? Because we have to do the x values only from 0 to natural log of 2, and the curve is 8 e power 8 e to the power minus x by 2 negative 1 with respect to dx. So that would be your shaded area. Okay. Do we get an exact form? No, in this form, yeah, where p and q are positive integers. Okay, let's start doing it. So the area becomes, this is 7 by 2, or if 7 times 6, we can say 7 times 6 is 42. 6 times 7, this is 42 divided by 2 natural log of 2 minus, apply the integration, 8 is a constant, e power minus x by 2, and the derivative of minus x by 2 is minus 1 by 2, minus we have x, and the limits we need to put from 0 to 6 natural log of 2. Okay, and 42 is also divisible by 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. So here area would be equals to 21 natural log of 2 minus, this is 8 e to the power minus x by 2 into minus 2 minus x. Apply the limits from 0 to 6 natural log of 2. Okay, let me do the further steps. So the area is 21 natural log of 2 and minus, this is minus 16 e power minus x by 2 minus x. Now we can substitute the limits in the next step. Now it is in the simplified form, right? So the area, this is 21 natural log of 2 minus, to the upper limit, which is minus 16 e power minus 1 by 2. The x value is 6 natural log of 2 minus 6 natural log of 2. This is the upper limit minus the lower limit. The lower limit is 0, minus 16 e power minus 0 by 2 minus 0. So area would be 21 natural log of 2 minus, let me solve this, 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 3 is 6. So minus 16 e to the power negative 3 natural log of 2 minus 6 natural log of 2 minus negative 16, this is e to the power 0, minus 0 is nothing. Okay. Further steps, the shaded area is 21 natural log of 2 minus, okay, negative 16 e to the power, you can shift this power to the numerator, right? Power in this power, natural log 2 to the power negative 3, because anything which is before the natural log, it shift to the power of that number, right? So 2 to the power this negative 3 minus 6 natural log of 2, and negative times negative is positive. 16 e to the power 0 is just 1. Okay, simplify this further. The first term stays the same. Okay, now e and natural log is just 1. We have negative 16, e natural log is 1, 2 to the power negative 3, negative natural 6 natural log of 2. Yeah, oh, 30 negative, which is 6 natural log of 2 positive 16. Okay. Okay, simplified further. So area becomes 21 natural log of 2. Negative times negative is positive 16 over 2 cube. Negative times negative is positive 6 natural log of 2. Negative times positive is negative 16. Okay, so 2 cube is 8 and 16 over 8 is 2, right? So area would be equals to 21 natural log of 2 plus 2 plus 6 natural log of 2 minus 16. So we need to find it into the form of P natural log 2 minus Q. Okay, first terms are natural log of 2. Okay, so area would be equals to combine the natural log of 2's, right? In 21, when you add 6, the answer is 21 plus 6 is 27 natural log of 2, and 2 minus 16, this is negative 14. So now this would be the shaded area, and that area is in the form of, wait, this is in the form of P natural log of 2 minus Q, where P value is equals to 27 and the Q value is equals to 14, and these two are integers, right? Question number 6. A curve has parametric equation x is tangent theta and y is sine theta minus 2 sine cube theta. For theta is from 0 to pi by 2, means the first quadrant. Part A show that dy over dx should be equals to this. So we need to apply dy by dx, right? So x is in terms of theta, y is in terms of theta. We can apply the chain rule over here. So first differentiate x with respect to theta. X is equals to tangent theta dx over d theta is derivative of tangent theta is secant square theta, and here y is equals to sine theta minus 2 sine cube theta. So the derivative of y with respect to theta, the derivative of sine theta is cos theta minus 2. Applying the power rule, power is 3. The base function is sine theta. We do its power minus 1. Derivative of sine theta is cos theta. So this is cos theta minus 6 sine square theta into cos theta. Okay, now let me apply the chain rule to get its derivative, right? Now for the chain rule, dy over dx, this is equals to dy over d theta multiply d theta over dx. Derivative of y with respect to theta, derivative of theta with respect to x, we do the reciprocal of it, right? So here dy over dx, this is equals to dy over d theta is this, which is cos theta minus 6 cos theta sine square theta multiply d theta over dx would be 1 over secant square theta, right? So we need to find the derivative. Everything should be in the cos, right? Okay, we know that reciprocal of secant is cos theta. Further simplification, dy over dx, this is equals to cos theta minus 6 cos theta. The sine square is 1 minus cos square theta, and 1 over secant is cos square theta. Now everything is in cos. Just simplify. Dy over dx is equals to cos theta minus 6 cos theta is multiplying with 1 and minus 6 cos theta with this, so plus 6 cos cube theta. So this whole thing is multiplying with cos square theta. So I forgot to put the bracket. Okay, so simplify this term inside the bracket first, and then we can multiply. So this is minus 5 with cos theta and plus 6 with cos cube theta, and its product with cos square theta. Okay, so when you can do dy over dx, this should be equals to cos square theta is multiplying with this, so 6 cos 5 and cos square, bases are same, add the power, 3 plus 2 would be 5 theta, this term with this, so minus 5, its power is 1, its power is 2, so cos cube theta. So you will get the derivative. This is how we found the derivative. Now for part B, find the equation of normal to the curve. We need to find the equation of normal to the curve at the point where the curve crosses x-axis. When the curve crosses the x-axis, the y should be equals to 0. There is some x value. Give your answer in the form of y equals to mx plus c, where m and c are exact constants. For equation of normal, we need the gradient and we need the point. So the point is when y is equals to 0 for this curve, when y is equals to 0, we need to just solve the x. This y is 0, just solve for the x value. Okay, so when you put y equals to 0, from here you will get the theta value and substitute that theta value over here, you will get the x. Yeah. Okay, so x is tan theta and y is sine theta minus 2 sine cube theta. Let me write it down. X is equals to tan theta and y is equals to sine theta minus 2 sine of cube theta. Okay. Now when it crosses the y-axis, y should be equals to 0. When you put y equals to 0, you will get sine theta minus 2 sine cube theta is equals to 0. Let me take sine theta common. 1 minus 2 sine square theta, that is equals to 0. So here sine theta is equals to 0, or we can say 1 minus 2 sine square theta is equals to 0. So sine theta equals to 0. What are the range for theta? 0 to pi by 2 in the first quadrant. Okay. So the range of the values of theta is from 0 to pi by 2. The first quadrant means 0 to 90 degree. So here theta is equals to cos and sine inverse of 0, and we know that sine inverse of 0 is equals to 0, right? Okay, now the second we can solve is minus 2 sine square theta, and theta equals to 0 is not included into this domain. It is between 0 and pi by 2, not equals to 0 and equals to pi by 2. So this is not solution, not a solution. From here, equals to minus 1, cancel the two signs. We can say sine square theta is 1 by 2, and to get the value of sine theta, we do the squaring on both sides. This is plus minus 1 over square root of 2, taking a square root on both sides. So the square root and the square is cancelled out, and root of 1 is 1, so root 2. So we have two answers from here. Yes, let me check. So the two cases are the first one is sine theta is equals to 1 over square root of 2, and the other one is sine theta is minus 1 over square root of 2, right? So here theta value is sine inverse of 1 over root 2. Theta is in radians, right? Calculator must be in the radian mode. My calculator is in degree, now it is in the radian mode. Let's find sine inverse of 1 divides square root of 2, pi by 4. So this theta value is pi by 4, and this is in the range from 0 to pi by 2. Pi by 4 lies in 0 to pi by 2, right? Okay. And the other sign is negative, right? Sign is negative in third and fourth quadrant. So we have no solution from here, right? No solution because sign is negative in third and fourth quadrant, which are not included in the domain of theta. Theta is only from 0 to pi by 2. 0 to pi by 2, this is only the first quadrant. 0 and pi by 2, the only first quadrant we are working on. Sine is negative in third and fourth quadrant, which is not in the domain, so we have no solution from here. So the only value of theta we got is pi by 4. We got theta equals to 0 as well, but we are not considering 0. Why we are not considering 0? Because 0 is not in the domain of values of theta. Now we have theta, which is pi by 4. Just substitute over here, you will get the x value. So what is x? X should be equals to tangent of theta, which is pi by 4. Tangent pi by 4 is always equals to 1, so the x value is 1 and the y value is 0. Now we got the point for the equation of normal xy. X coordinate is 1, the y coordinate is 0. Okay, and for the equation of normal we need the gradient as well, right? So the gradient is the derivative dy over dx. So this is the derivative dy by dx. Just substitute the theta value over here, you will get dy over dx. Okay, so dy over dx is equals to 6 cos 5 theta minus 5 cos cube theta. So just substitute theta equals to pi by 4 and you will get the dy over dx. Dy over dx at theta equals to pi by 4. This is equals to 6 cos 5 pi by 4 minus 5 cos cube pi by 4. What is cos pi by 4? Cos of pi by 4, root 2 over 2, or 1 over root 2 you can say. So this is 1 over square root of 2, its power is 5 and minus 5, and this is 1 over square root of 2, its power is 3. Now let me solve the gradient of the curve, and then we can do the gradient of normal, because normal is always perpendicular to the tangent. So gradient of curve is basically gradient of tangent, and for gradient of normal we do negative reciprocal, right? Okay, so here we have 6 over square root of 2, its power is 5, because 1 to the power 5 is 1. So this is 5 over square root of 2, its whole cube. Okay, let me simplify this. This power is 5, make the same denominator. So you have to multiply by root 2 power 2 over square root of 2 to the power 2. When the bases are same, we can add the power. So here we have 6 over root 2, its whole power is 5, and minus 5, and this square and square root is cancelled out, times by 2 divided by root 2, the power is 3 plus 2 makes 5. Okay, now the bases are same, we can just add the powers, which simplify the numerators, which is square root of 2, its whole power is 5, and here we have 6, and 2 times 5 is 10. So this is negative 4 divides root 2, its whole power is 5. We can write down negative 4 as 2 power 2, and here 2 power is 5 by 2. Okay, so it's minus 1, and shift this to the new denominator, 5 by 2 into 2 power minus 2. I shift into the denominator, minus 1 divides 2. The bases are same, add the powers, 5 by 2 and minus 2. This is 1 by 2. You can do 5 by 2 and then subtract 2. This is 1 by 2, right? So minus 1 over 2 to the power 1 by 2. This is minus 1 over square root of 2. Okay, so this implies we got the gradient of tangent, that is equals to negative 1 over square root of 2. Now tangent is always perpendicular to the normal, so the gradient of normal would be gradient of normal, that is negative and reciprocal. Negative times negative is positive, reciprocal of 1 over root 2 is just root 2. So this is a gradient of normal. Now we can easily get the equation of normal is equation of normal at the point, what is the point? The point is 1 and 0. X is 1 and the y value is 0. So the gradient of equation of normal is y minus y naught is equals to m into x minus x naught. So this is the value of m, the gradient of normal, right? So this is the gradient of the curve, and the gradient of the curve is always equals to gradient of tangent, right? And tangent is perpendicular to the normal. So this is y minus y naught is 0 equals to m value square root of 2 into x minus x naught is just 1. So this is y equals to square root of 2 is multiplying with x minus square root of 2. So this is in the form of y equals to mx plus c. M and c are the exact constants. M and c are root 2 and root 2. So these are the exact constants. So here we got the equation of normal. Question number 7. The polynomial p of x is defined by p of x is this polynomial is a 4th degree polynomial where k is a constant. It is given that x plus 2 is a factor of the polynomial. If x plus 2 is the factor of the polynomial, then we can put x plus 2 equals to 0 and solve for x. So x should be equals to negative 2. So it means when in polynomial you put x equals to negative 2, your answer should be equals to 0 because it is a factor, there is no remainder. Part A, find the value of k. Okay, so use this information that in the polynomial just substitute x equals to -2 and your solution should be equals to 0, right? Okay, so 2, the x value is -2, this power is 4, plus k, the x value is -2, its power is cube, plus k, the x value is -2, its cube, plus 17, the x value is -2, plus 18, that is equals to 0. Okay, now let me simplify. -2 to the power 4 is 16. 2 into -2 to the power 4, this is 32. And minus cube is -2 cube is 8 with k, plus sorry, this is square, this power is 2, 4, 3 and 2. 2 square is 4k, and what is 17 times 2? -34, positive 18 equals to 0. Solve the k terms first. So the k terms are -8 and positive 4 is -4k, and solve the constants. Constants are 32, -34 and positive 18 plus 16. -4k and shift the 16 on the other side, -16, so k would be equals to -16 divides -4, so negative is cancelled with -4 times 4 is 16. From here we get the value of k, which is equals to 4. So this is the value for k. It is given that the equation p of x equals to 0 has exactly two real roots denoted by alpha and beta, where alpha is an integer and beta is not an integer. Part B, state the value of alpha and show that beta satisfies this equation. Okay, p of x equals to 0. It has two real roots. P of x equals to 0. What is a polynomial? P of x, 2x to the power 4, 2x power 4 plus kx cube, kx square, k value is 4, so 4x cube plus 4x square. Okay, and then the last two terms are 17k plus 18 plus 17k plus 18, that is equals to 0. Okay, so p of x equals to 0 has exactly two real roots, and we have given this that x plus 2 is a factor of the polynomial, right? So let me reduce this, the first root. Okay, so apply a method of syntactic division. Syntactic division method. So method of syntactic division basically reduce the power of the polynomial. Okay, so we have given that x plus 2 is the factor of p of x, right? The polynomial p of x. Okay, so let me draw the straight line here and one line over here. Wait, right, now here we can write down the coefficients of x to the power 4, coefficient of x cube, coefficient of x square, coefficient of x, and the constant term is 18. Okay, now x value should be -2 over here, so bring the first term as it is down. 2 times 2, 4, so it becomes -4. So when you add them up, it becomes 0. 2 times 0 is 0, and when you add them up, this becomes 4. 2 times 4 is 8, so -8. In 17, when you add -8, 17 minus 8, 9. 2 times 9, 18, -18, so this becomes 0. Okay, right? Now this reduce the polynomial. Now how we can write this? This is x plus 2, or here we can say, now we can write the polynomial. Okay, p of x equals to 0. Okay, now when we can say the polynomial p of x is equals to 0, so the first thing is x plus 2 is the first root, and the second root, now the power 4 polynomial reduced to power 3. So 2 is a coefficient of x cube, 0 is a coefficient of x square, 4 is a coefficient of x, and 9 is a constant term. This is equals to 0, right? Now from here x plus 2 should be equals to 0, and we can say 2x cube plus 4x plus 9 should be equals to 0. So we have to show that p of x equals to 0 has exactly two real roots, alpha and beta, where alpha is an integer and beta is not an integer. We need to find the value of alpha, which is an integer, and we need to show that beta satisfies this equation. Okay, now it has two real roots only, right? So the first real root is x is equals to minus 2. So this one is the real root, and that real root is alpha, so alpha value is negative 2. We need to solve for alpha value, right? So we have done with the value of alpha, right, which is negative 2. Now from here you will get another real root, but that is not an integer, so this is also an integer as well. Negative 2 is an integer. Okay, so from here we need to show that it satisfies this equation. So 2x cube should be equals to minus 4x minus 9. Okay, so x cube is equals to minus 4 divided by 2x minus 9 divided by 2. So x cube is equals to minus 2x and minus what is 9 by 2? It's 4.5. 4.5. And what is your x? X is equals to cube root of minus 2x minus 4.5. Cube root of minus 2x minus 4.5. This is the value for beta, the second root, which is real, but it is not an integer, right? We just need to show these two roots for the parabola. Sorry, for the polynomial. Yes. Now for part C, show by calculation that the value of beta must lies between minus 1.4 and minus 1.0. Okay, so if there is a sign change occur between these two values, then we can say that the root lies between these two values. Okay, so what is the beta? The beta value is cube root of minus 2x minus 4.5. Okay, this thing, and shift x on the other side, minus x. Now this is the whole value for your beta. Okay, so what is the beta at x is equals to minus 1.4? Okay, so we can say cube root, I can use a different color pen. So the cube root of minus 2 into minus 1.4 minus 4.5 minus 1.4. Just simplify this. Okay, so first take the cube root of minus 2 times minus 1.4 bracket negative 4.5, and outside it is plus 1.4, because negative times negative is positive. This is 0.21. 0.21. And the other one, what is the beta value when x is equals to minus 1.0? Okay, so let's do this. Cube root minus 2 into minus 1 minus 4.5 negative x is minus 1. Okay, just replace this with 1. Hold on a second, it's better to take the cube root 2 times 1 is 2 minus 4.5, and outside it's just 1, negative 0.36. Okay, so when you put beta at x is equals to minus 1.4, the answer is positive. And when you put beta at x is equals to minus 1, the answer is negative. So here you can see between these two values there is a sign change occur, positive and negative. This implies the root lies, we need to show by calculation that the beta values lies between these two, right? So this implies there is a sign change occur, so the root must lies between negative 1.4 is less than beta is less than negative 1.0, between these two values, because there is a sign change. One is positive and one is negative. So when there is a sign change, then the root must lies between these two values. We just need to show by calculation that the beta must lies between these two values. Now for part D, use an iterative formula based on the equation in part B to find the value of beta correct to 3 significant figure. Give the result of each iteration correct to 5 significant figure. We need to solve for beta, use the answer from part. So this is equation in part B, right? We have to use this equation in part B, and from part C we come to know that the beta value must lies between minus 1.4 and minus 1. So we need to pick the initial guess between these two numbers, right? So from part B, so we can say from part B, we got the x is equals to cube root of minus 2x minus 4.5. Make this an iterative formula. So how do we make it iterative formula? In the subscript we wrote n plus 1, and here we wrote x subscript n, right? So the iterative formula and the initial guess we need, the x naught. X naught we can pick that between 1.4 and minus 1.4 and minus 1. Okay, so we can take the initial guess minus 1.2, right? Because if I draw the number line, so let's say this is 0, this is minus 1, minus 1.2, this is minus 1.4, this becomes minus 2. So between minus 1.4 and minus 1 there is minus 1.2. So I'm just taking the initial guess minus 1.2, right? Okay, so first we use iterative formula, then from part C we come to know that the beta value must lies between these two, so you can make any initial guess between minus 1.4 and minus 1. Now let's start doing iterations, each iteration up to 5 significant figures, and the beta solution must be up to 3 significant figure, right? Okay, so let's do this. When the n value is 0, n is equals to 0, the first iteration is x1, which is the cube root of minus 2x0 minus 4.5. This is your first iteration, and x0 is minus 1.2. Okay, so here we can say cube root negative 2 times negative 1.2 and minus 4. Okay, put this in bracket, it's better. Okay, negative 2 times negative x naught and minus 4.5, up to 5 significant figures, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this turns to 6, minus 1.2806, minus 1.2806, the first iteration, right? The second iteration, when you put n equals to 1, 1 plus 1 x2, this should be the cube root of minus 2x1 minus 4.5, and this is a value of x1. Okay, let me use this value of x1 is minus 1.2806. Okay, 5 significant figures, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so this is 1.24, 1.2469. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Significant 9 is as it is. 2469 minus 1.2469. Okay, let's do the next iteration. When n is equals to 2, we have x cube, third value x3, so cube root of minus 2x2 minus 4.5. okay, just replace the x2 value. Minus 1.2469 minus 1.611234 2612 1.2612. okay, let's do another one. n3x4, this should be equals to the cube root of minus 2x cube minus 4.5. okay, this would be, if I can write this over here, minus 1.2612 minus 1.255 1 2 3 4 and 5, so 552 minus 1.255 and 2 up to so on. Now we can guess what is the solution for beta up to 3 significant figures. The answer, the value of beta should be 3 significant figure. What is the beta value? This implies the value of beta up to 3 significant figures would be negative 1.2 is constant. So we can write negative 1.2. These are the 2 significant figures. The third significant figure is 8.0. 8049 rounds, 46 rounded to 5. This 8, this rounded to 5, this becomes 6, this rounded to 6, so it is better to take 6. Yes, so this is the value of beta up to 3 significant figures. Now question number 8, the equation of a curve is, this is the equation of the curve. Find the exact coordinates of the stationary point of the curve. For the stationary point, we need to put first derivative equals to 0, right? So here we can take the first derivative, dy over dx. Okay, so this is the exponential function and the radical function, the product rule we have to apply. The first function is 4e to the power 1 minus 2x. Take the derivative of the second function, which is root of 3x minus 1, plus the second function is as it is, derivative of the first function, 4e to the power 1 minus 2x. okay, now dy over dx, this becomes 4e to the power 1 minus 2x is as it is, applying the power rule over here. So first we have the power 1 by 2, the base function is 3x minus 1 because the square root power is basically 1 by 2, so the power base power minus 1 and the derivative of this base function is just 3, plus root 3x minus 1 is as it is. 4 is a constant, e power 1 minus 2x, its derivative is e power 1 minus 2x, and 1 minus 2x derivative is just minus 2. Okay, simplify this further, dy over dx, this is equals to 4 e to the power 1 minus 2x plus 3 by 2, this is 2 over here, 1 minus 2 over 2 minus 1 by 2, so this is in the denominator, 3x minus 1 should be in the denominator, and plus, no, it's minus, 4 times 2 gives you 8, minus 8, negative 8 e power 1 minus 2x and root of 3x minus 1. Okay, now we have done with the first derivative. Now we need to put that derivative equals to 0 and solve for the exact coordinates of the stationary points. Okay, now we can say for stationary point, we need to put first derivative dy over dx is equals to 0. This is the first derivative, put it equals to 0. So 4 e power, so it's not plus, sorry. This is in the product. See, it's in the product, not plus. Okay, the two terms we have 1 minus 2x, and we can simplify this term as well. Wait, 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 would be 6. So here we can write down 6e 1 minus 2x divides root 1 3x minus 1. Okay, and negative 8 e power 1 minus 2x root 3x minus 1. This is equals to 0. Okay, let me solve for the x value. First, shift this on the other side. 6 e power 1 minus 2x over root of 3x minus 1. This is equals to 8 e power 1 minus 2x root of 3x minus 1. When I shift this on the other side of the equation, it becomes positive, right? Okay, now cross multiply. So 6 e power 1 minus 2x, this becomes 8 e power 1 minus 2x into root of 3x minus 1, and this is also root of 3x minus 1, so it is twice basically, right? Okay, so we can say 6 e power 1 minus 2x divides 8 e power 1 minus 2x. This is equals to this term, and this square is cancelled out, 3x minus 1. So e power 2x, e power 1 minus 2x is cancelled out. So the simplified answer is 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8, that is equals to 3x minus 1. Just solve the exact x coordinate first, right? So from 3 by 4 you have to add 1, you will get 3x, right? We have 4 over here, 4 plus 1 is 7 by 4, we have 3x, and from here the x value is 7 by 4 is going to divide by 3, which is equals to 7 over 4 times 3 is 12. Now the exact x coordinate is 7 over 12. Okay, now we need to solve the exact y coordinate by substituting the x coordinate into the equation of the curve. You will get the y coordinate. Okay, so let me write down the equation of the curve, which is y equals to 4 e power 1 minus 2x square root of e power 3x minus 1. Sorry, this is 3x minus 1. Okay, just substitute the x value over here and solve for the y. So y is equals to 4 e to the power 1 minus 2 into 7 over 12 square root 3 times 7 over 12 minus 1. Okay, they are in the product, right? Okay, so here we can say 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 6 is 12, 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 4 is 12, and further simplification, y is equals to 4 e to the power 1 minus 7 by 6. Multiply square root 7 by 4 minus 1. Okay, 4 over here, and when you do 7 take away 4, we have 3 by 4, right? So y is equals to 4 e to the power 6 minus 1 is minus 1 by 6. Multiply root 3 by 4. So here we have 4 e to the power minus 1 over 6 multiply square root of 3 divided by square root of 4. This is 4 e to the power minus 1 by 6 into square root of 3 divided by 2. 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, which is 2 square root of 3 e to the power minus 1 by 6. This is your y coordinate, the exact value of the y coordinate of the stationary point, right? So for this day we can say that the coordinates of stationary points are x and the y coordinate. The x coordinate is 7 by 4, 7 by 12. 7 over 12 is the x coordinate, and 2 square root of 3 e to the power minus 1 by 6 is the y coordinate. So these are the exact coordinates of the stationary points, right? So that was the last question of our paper. If you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care.